Now that Fluval have released their brand new UVC, I thought it'd be worth doing a video on how to set one of these up. There are, in fact, 2, possibly 3 different ways of setting this one up. Firstly, I'd like to clarify that yes, this filter has been designed to be used with Fluval filters as well as non-Fluval branded filters. So it is available to be used on your normal filters. However, you can only do this if you have the right diameter pipework. Now, a lot of larger aquarium external canister filters use 16mm and it's normally green tubing. Something like this, you probably do recognise it. This one's a bit dirty, apologise, but this is 1622 or 16mm inside, 22mm outside diameter, and that will fit on these little accessory pieces, and they just go on there and on there, and obviously you push them on, you put a Jubilee clip around it, one of these hose clips, and then you can put your regular 16mm pipework on there. In this video I'm not going to be using it because I'm going to be fitting it to my FX4, which is attached to my Fluval shaker. So I'm going to be basically setting it up basically in a standard way as per Fluval's instruction guide. Saying that, there are 2 ways of setting it up on that filter. The first one, which I'll go through briefly in a minute, is using this bracket. Now I'm not going to be using this, I'm going to be using it direct onto the canister using this little elbow that comes in the box. So the first way to fit this UVC is to actually use this bracket and attach it to the inside of your cabinet or your wall or anything essentially which you can screw into. And that bracket just goes onto that clip there. You just push it on and that's how it fits. So the world is really your oyster as to how you mount it. You'll note that there are holes at the bottom and there are holes on the side. So you could put it sideways, you could put it that way, you could suspend it from the ceiling or the side or however you want to do it. That's what that bracket's for. There is something you want to note with this setup because you're going to need another piece of Fluval's pipework. So this Fluval FX pipework, you're going to require another piece. The reason is you're going to need one to go from your filter to this end, and then you're going to need another one to go from the UVC back to your aquarium. So that is something you're going to need to purchase separately. It does not come in the box with extra pieces of tubing. However, I'm going to be using the other setup method, which goes directly onto the filter and therefore doesn't require any more purchases. So before we can do this, I need to obviously turn my filter off. That's easily done. I just unplug it and the plug can just dangle there. So in the instructions that I've been given, the UVC sits on the outlet of your filter, not on the inlet. The reason for this, I guess, is you want the water going through the UVC to be as clear as possible, free of debris, free of dirt, etc., to keep the quartz sleeve as clean as possible so that it can do its job. If you stick it on the inlet, it's going to be pre-filter and it's going to get all the gunk that you don't want on your UVC. So on the outlet only. So before we actually take the tube off, what we're going to do is we're going to close these valves just to prevent any back siphoning. We're also going to remove the pipework from our aquarium just to get the just to stop it from back siphoning again. So just remove your nozzle from your aquarium, otherwise when that pipe comes off, that will start siphoning water down the tube. Ask me how I know. Well, I just did it. After that, all we do is we just take that pipework off. Obviously there's a little bit of water in the tube, and then we can fit our elbow and UVC. So how we fit this is pretty straightforward actually. I'm going to turn my nozzle around so it's facing that way. Obviously we have our hose pipe clip already on that pipework, but what we need to do is have one for each of these ends, because these are the ends which are going to be clamped over the pipework. So something like that, and then all we have to do is simply put that over there, and then we can fit our UVC onto that end. So as you can see, something like that, and then we connect the original pipework onto that piece. So there it is fitted. Obviously I've had to change the orientation of this because if you're anything like me, you've pre-cut your pipework to be exactly as long as it needs to be, and this does slightly change the length of pipework that you need. Also, being that this comes off at that angle, you then have to make sure that outlet can reach your pipework, you know, because it was going from sort of down here to here, now it has to go that way. If I had it that way, i.e. this unit facing that way, my pipework wouldn't be long enough to reach. So that's something you need to consider. It might be worth buying some more pipework if you're going to be installing this unit. Thankfully for me, I've just about done it. I mean, secondly, it does look a bit awkward sitting on top of the filter, but bearing in mind this is the one of two options of mounting. Now, if I had spare pipework, then I probably would not use this method, and I'd use the method where I mount it to the wall over there using the bracket, pipework goes to it, and then I need some more pipework to go back into my tank. However, that would look a lot neater and it wouldn't interrupt when I need to do water changes, because bearing in mind now, when I need to open this lid up, I have to, well, I've got another thing in the way. I mean, it's not going to be too awkward. I'll just undo this valve and then probably just put the whole thing up there, rest it up there. So, but it's just another thing in the way, and you know, fine. This all comes in the box. It means you can use it straight away. You don't have to buy any separate pieces, but it's not, in my opinion, the neatest method. But again, you've got the wall mounting or cupboard mounting option if you want neatness. This is how you do it with what comes in the box. So the next thing you need to do is just turn it on and make sure nothing leaks. Well, there it is. Result. I've turned it back on. It's obviously got a bit of air in it, so just purging that now. But nothing's leaking. It's all a nice tight fit. Obviously, I've remembered to do the hose clips up. Something some people forget. Some person has asked me, how do you know that these are on? Because they don't have a display indicator, and it's a bit hard to see because my room's quite bright, but this is clear at the back here, and the light actually, in the dark, you'll be able to see the light glowing, and that's how you'll know the unit's on, essentially. So, thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful to set up your Fluval FX UVC. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to give a like and subscribe to my channel. And once again, thanks for watching and happy fish keeping!